Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again on Anglers Outpost. I'm George Schauer, host and master angler, and with me as always, our man on the water, Josh Taylor, and our co-host. Thanks for coming by, Josh.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this time of year is got to be our favorite time of year. It's striper season. And we got some really good shows coming up talking about some striper. But today, guess who we got? I think the man single most responsible for getting more people on 50-pound striper than anyone else.
Well, who is this person, George?
From Tony Maja Custom Products, we got Tony Maja Jr. Hey, Tony, you with us, buddy?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
George?
Oh, we're doing great. How are you doing today?
Very, very good.
Excellent.
Very good.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking time. I know this is your real busy season, and you guys are probably out fishing nonstop and selling these lures, but we really appreciate you taking time to come and talk to us about them.
That's my pleasure. My pleasure.
So what we want to talk about is, you know, if you guys have heard of traditional bunker spoons, you guys got to look at these Tony Maja spoons. These things are absolute beasts. And Tony, I mean, these things are legendary. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the company and, you know, how you guys got to where you are today?
Okay. Well, years ago, I'm only 42 years old, so I'm a youngin' compared to my father. My father's 75. He's been fishing striped bass for over 50 years, more closer to 60 now, I'm sure. We used to use bunker spoons when maybe there was, in the Raritan Bay, maybe a few people knew about them, you know, 50 some odd years ago, and they used to make bunker spoons out of actual stop signs.
Oh, really?
Not real stop signs. My father was a police officer, so he was allowed to take those stop signs. So, just say. And we used to tweak them and you know, paint them. If somebody said white was working, we had a spray can on our boat, so spray paint it white. Someone said green was working, we spray painted it green. And you know, people are worried about the scent and all of these things. That does not matter. The color very rarely matters. They see these fish see shades. They do not see those colors. People put pictures on spoons. You know, they try to mimic a bunker 100%. The action is what catches the fish. That is the main thing. The action is the actual the key to success.
Right.
You know, so what my father did over the years is he tweaked them, and one day he's watching a bunker school and he sees a little bluefish come up and snap a little bunker. You know, basically wounded the back tail, and the fish was swimming a little different than the others. And 2 seconds later, I kid you not, a big bass comes up and scoops him up.
Nice.
Now, bass are a little bit, a lot more lazy than bluefish are. You know, they'll sit down, they'll wait for those fish to come. You know, they'll wait for a wounded bunker, they'll wait for their opportunity to grab one. Bluefish will just chop up anything. So what we did is we tweaked it where it was a little bit less erratic, like the old bunker spoons and most bunker spoons. So we made it swim with a less of a sweep. When I say sweep, swimming side to side, obviously. So what we did is we unbent it, if that's even a word.
No, we got you.
We made them a little bit less of a curve in them. So instead of a 4-foot sweep, they're more like a 2 to 3 foot sweep. And man, it worked. It worked. So we started producing the spoons probably about 8-9 years ago. Mm-hmm. Started our own brand, and ever since then it's been nothing but 150 pounder after another. This year so far there's 12 of them on our spoons just in the spring alone.
That's incredible.
It is incredible, and I think that's really a legacy for you to carry on. I mean, it's one of the few things that consistently produce 50-pound class fish. Now, I mean that's quite a badge to carry.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's true. I mean, it's just the way they work. And I was in the lure business probably 20 years ago, and I remember seeing Maja spoons back then. So it's right. Really a legacy to bring forward and remember that there's something to be proud of from you guys. But they really work. It's really a great product.
Thank you. I mean, listen, my father's built the legacy and never had any anticipation of making a business out of it. Back when he was younger. But I mean, he's built such a name for himself and such a reputation that he puts nothing but. He won't put anything out unless it's 100% tested by him.
Sure.
And he won't put junk out. Now you could run those spoons over. George, you could actually take the spoon and run it over with a car, and
right.
It won't change the action.
No kidding. Well, that's another thing.
A lot of the spoons out there that I'm not going to say a all of them, or I'm not going to mention names because I don't, everybody makes good products. I don't like to talk bad about anybody, but our spoons will not change after fish 5. You don't have to go buy a new one.
Yeah, that's certainly for sure. Wish you guys could feel these things at home. I mean, these things are built like a tank.
I was going to say,
bulletproof.
Yeah, holding this in my hands, it feels indestructible.
Yeah. And that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get a 50-pound fish. You want to be sure you get that in and not a mangled piece of metal afterwards.
Right.
So it's great.
Right, exactly.
Now, Tony,
and after bluefish, I mean, they'll bite and bite and bite, and they will change the action of most spoons. Even the old ones we used to make ourselves when we first started making them, it would change this, and it would always be erratic, and we never had that consistency of big fish. But we finally tweaked it enough. I can't say we, my father.
Right.
He's the mastermind between it. I mean, of course I was with him every time he fished, but I reeled in a lot of the fish, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but you're carrying the torch forward, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
My father's getting to the age where he just wants to sit back and go fishing when it's nice out. He's earned it. He works.
I was going to say it's well earned. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, one of the ways to fish these, I know one of the questions people always ask is, how fast do you troll them? But it's not really about speed, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, if you think about it, for example, if you guys fish these on a lake, we have a couple people that fish them on. I don't know if you heard of it, Texacoma Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep.
Lake
Absolutely.
Texacoma.
Yep.
And they crush hybrid bass out there, freshwater bass like it's nothing. Striped bass. I mean, they just crush them with the number 1 and number 2 spoons.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely crush them. And the main thing is you want to match the hatch, which is match the fish that they're eating.
Sure.
The bait that they're fishing, they're going to attack that and that only. So, but speed wise, now it depends on current, wind, conditions, direction. And every boat has, if you go, certain RPMs. If it's a bigger boat, if it doesn't have, if it's an inboard, outboard, you just want to watch the tip of the rod.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. You're looking for that pulse. You want to see that thing pulsing every second or so, and it's that's what sets your trolling speed, not so much what you see on your sonar or your speedometer.
And that's probably the most asked question. I do all the seminars. I just finished 2 seminars recently. I have another 6 coming up in the next 2 weeks. The most asked question is, what speed do we go?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that.
Question.
You're very active in sharing the knowledge and teaching folks how to go after big stripers. Why don't you talk a little bit about your seminar series?
Sure. I mean, listen, when it comes down to it, it's not a secret. You don't want to keep a secret and say, I'm the only one who's going to catch 50-pound fish and think it's a business and make money on it. And
sure.
It's just, you want to pass the knowledge. And spoon fishing, bunker spoon fishing or trolling is, you don't just drop them out and you expect to catch fish. It's a science. It's an art and a science. It's, as anybody who trolls spoons and trolls these things, it's trial and error. And believe me, we made a lot of errors. Lost a lot of spoons. The speed is absolutely critical. So, I mean, I think it's something, I gotta look it up. I think it's something like 60 to 80 pulses on the rod tip per minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So probably 1 per second. Probably right around 1 per second.
That gives you that real good pulse, and I guess the fish with their lateral line, they're really going to feel that pulse in the water, plus the visual presentation on top of it.
Exactly, and with the part that faces down on the spoon is the part with the keel, the weight on it.
Right.
That's the part that sits down as it sweeps side to side. If you ever watch a bunker school, you see the flashes. Those flashes are fish turning side to side.
Okay, gotcha.
That's, most fish swim, straight, lateral, vertical, whichever way that is. And then bunker schools have the flashes. There's fish that are erratic and they jump and they flash. I think that's a way to try to avoid predators, but I don't think they know enough, because that doesn't avoid the predators, it actually attracts them.
Sure.
But bunker they don't know much better. So
Not the smartest fish.
No, you can't. And you know what? I'd never want to be a bunker, I'll be honest.
Right.
They're running from the second they're born to the second they die. They're running.
Sure.
But the seminars are great, and we love to teach people the right way of doing it, because there's nothing worse than having somebody come to. We get a few of these here, and I'm not going to lie. We do the fishing shows. We do fishing shows from New England all the way down to Virginia. I'll be doing all those shows by myself probably now because my father's starting to retire in that area.
Right.
But people come and they're like, listen, it's not working. Something's not working. What can you help me with? And I ask them the questions. Well, we start off what rod are you using? And you just got to go through the process. There's something they're doing wrong, because if they do it correctly, I'm not saying they'll definitely catch fish. I mean, then it wouldn't be fishing, it would be catching.
Sure.
And that's rule number one. It's still hard.
Right.
You still have to find the fish. It's not just going to attract the fish. But and we go through the process. Start with the rod. You start with the line they're using. You don't want to use mono most of the time unless you're down. Where you guys fish the lakes, use downriggers most likely, right?
Yeah, we do a lot, quite a bit. Yeah.
So you could use anything. I mean, you could use mono. You could use anything. When we're fishing in the ocean, you can't. If we're not using downriggers, you can't use mono. It's just not going to get the sink rate that you need.
Right.
It's just not going to work as well. So we use either braid or we use Monel.
But the wire.
Line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which a lot of people are against. It's not fun, this and that. Listen, when I was young, my father used to make me reel in all of those fish. He used to drive the boat, and I used to reel in them. I could not take it anymore. I was like, I don't want to reel in this fish. I was 9, 10 years old. Because it's a lot of work.
Sure.
It really is.
Yeah.
But I caught my first 40-pounder and then 45-pounder. He had me hooked. I was like, let's go trolling. It's if it catches, don't fix what's not broken. I was always taught that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how far down will these go on a flat line? I mean, you're talking just with braid, getting that ideal speed for the pulse. How deep will these run?
I mean, we'll use for braid, we'll use drill weights, like a drill weight.
Yeah.
Because as anybody who fishes knows, the mono floats, braid cuts through the water, and stainless steel sinks, and Monel sinks even better. So with Monels, we use 300 feet of Monel. We fish in the ocean, it's 50 to 60 feet, sometimes up to 70.
Oh, okay.
We'll get it down about 50 feet with just 300 feet of line up.
Okay.
Which is pretty, it's impressive for spoons, because usually those spoons, the old spoons we used to use, we would have to let out 300 feet to go down 20 feet,
Right. Well, these are certainly heavy. I mean, I got the number 4 in my hands here, and between the spoon itself and the keel, I mean, that's a pretty hefty lure you got.
Yeah.
What's it weigh, about close to a pound?
It's about a pound, I believe.
Yeah, it's
just under a pound.
Just about a pound. But that'll get you some good depth. I mean, and it's good because you don't want a lot of garbage in the way when you're trying to fish. I mean, even the drill weights, I know a lot of guys hate to use them because it's something between you and the fish that you got to deal with. So it's good that they'll get a lot of depth right on their own, especially with wire. That's great.
We personally don't use the drills. We use just Monel, straight Monel.
Sure.
Even lead core line, we use that. We have a lot of charter captains on our pro staff that swear, because I mean, if you're a charter captain, you have to be careful with your stuff. If you have a novice fisherman, you screw up the whole thing in Monel, you're in trouble, because that's you're talking
expensive.
300 feet of line. It's expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
It's expensive. So I mean, the lead core is a little bit less, I guess, way you screw it up, it doesn't kink. Stainless steel is the worst. Stainless steel will kink, and once it's kinked, you throw it out.
Right.
There's no way of getting it out. Monel will actually, it's a lot softer and a lot more forgiving, so you can actually work out a little kink as long as it's not bent to the crisp. So.
Sure, we got you there.
But the seminars are, and I learn something new every day. Somebody tells me a new way that they fish it, and you know what? You can't tell people that's wrong, because you know what? Nothing's wrong. We didn't write the book. Those books have been there. My father's just revolutionized the business, and now, when we came out with our first bunker spoons, there was maybe 1 or 2 different vendors that made bunker spoons that really didn't sell them anymore. Really, it was almost non-existent. And now there's multiple people. There's bunker spoons everywhere.
Sure.
Which is fine, and you know what? It's flattering, and we don't own the bunker spoon, so there's no way we could say that.
You just dominate it, right?
That's it. We do. Exactly. Yes, we do. We dominate. I can't say any different. And you know what? I wouldn't lie, because we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nobody out there that even comes close with the size fish that we catch.
Well, it's the reputation. That's one of the reasons we're talking. I mean, if we're going to talk about a bunker spoon, we want to talk to the best in the business, and you guys certainly are.
Thank you very, very much, guys.
What's your favorite time of year to fish a bunker spoon? Is it something you can fish throughout the entire season, or is it better in the spring or the fall?
Well, you know what? Years ago, the fall was always the best. It was always the best. I mean, full time, it was always spring, live bunker. The live bunker came in the spring. The live bunker used to leave right around now. Now the bunkers stay all year long.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, bunker spoon is spring and fall now.
Okay.
And it's not just because we sell the bunker spoons, but I mean, we fish. When we fish by the beach, we fish up and down the Jersey coast. My father and I grew up in Staten Island. So those bunkers were there every year, and there was structure to fish on them. You used to fish structure. Now there's no, where we are, it's all beach.
Right.
No structure.
Right.
No structure. So you have to find those fish, and those fish aren't staying there because there's nothing for them to stay on. So there's nothing but trolling. Where we do now, we just troll spring to the fall.
Okay. And that works.
But the fall, I think, is by far usually the biggest fish. But I could be wrong this year. Who knows?
Well, we're going to find out, right?
Hopefully I'm wrong. And I've never broke the 60 mark, but I'm hoping that happens.
Oh, that would
soon.
be amazing.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming.
I hope so, man. I really do.
Well, you were talking about.
I'll pray to God for what you just said.
Well, you got to give us a call and send us a picture as soon as you get one. That's for sure.
We'll do, for sure.
Now, we were talking mostly about these big fish is in this salt water, but one of the things Josh and I, we're very avid striper fishing. Most of it's freshwater.
Yeah.
And you said over in Texarkana they've been using these. I think we definitely want to use these, and that's why we started talking, is in our home lakes here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Big fish here, I think lake record is 46 pounds if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
think
crazy.
they just pulled a 45 out of there not too long ago.
Yes. Yep. Big fish in there.
Real big fish. And Josh just caught about a year ago. I think you caught a 30 pounder.
Yep.
About that. So
Jeez, those are big lake stripers.
Oh, they're incredible.
Really big.
Yeah, it's
there's good feed
Until
in there.
Texarkana, these guys are catching maybe 10 to 12 pounds that I know of. The guys that I know of.
There's schoolies where we
size.
fish.
Oh, yeah. Our average fish is 10 to 12 pounds.
That's just an average.
Yeah, that's about an average fish.
But you say,
so listen, we got to try it. We got to try the spoons out there. I'll come out there and we'll definitely try that.
I was just about to say, on that note, I'm looking at this number 1 in white right now, and all I see with that going through the water is an injured white perch.
Yeah.
We have a lot of white perch in our lake, and I think that would be a truly fantastic imitation.
it's a little bigger than LY, but it's certainly in the food chain of the stripers.
Yeah.
And I think they would just lick their lips seeing that thing
Absolutely,
come
yeah.
stumbling
So what do
through.
they feed on besides white? They feed on white perch, obviously.
White perch, alewives, there's trout in the lake. Occasionally they pick off a sunfish, but it's mostly alewives, white perch, and trout.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow, that's I learn something new every day because I would never think there was a striped bass in those areas bigger than 10 pounds. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, we're not
And I
too
love
far
being
away.
wrong because that gives me another place to go fish from.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I'm saying. We're not too far away from you, Tony. So one of these weekends you want to come up, and I think we're getting it'll be a little tough for this season yet to get my boat in the water and all. But I think in the spring we're going to really give it a try with these spoons here.
Without a doubt, I'm available. You tell me I'm there.
Yeah, let's do that.
And you guys hunt as well, right?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. Most of the stuff we do is fishing, but certainly out. Archery season just started. We'll be starting to get out for that. We got turkey season coming up.
I shot my first turkey a couple years ago on the show.
Yeah, we got you your first turkey on the show.
Yep.
So
That's great.
Yeah.
I still have yet to get one. I shot at one, never got one.
Well, come over to Pennsylvania. We'll hang out.
I'm not gonna say I missed it. I think there's something wrong with the gun, but
Of course,
right.
Yeah,
we won't talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a story for another show. We'll put that on the back burner.
Exactly.
Well, Tony, I know your big thing is spoon fishing, but I'm going to take a little bit of departure. I know you like to fish all year. You're like us. It's just in your blood. When you're not out dragging spoons, do you still go for stripers? And how do you fish them?
I fish. That's another thing. Like we really didn't get into. I'm a big tuna fisherman.
Oh, really?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't fish on our boat. My father and I boat. We have a 28 CV center console. Beautiful boat from Florida fishing boat, custom boat, but it's about 19 years old. I don't trust it going offshore. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to take the chance. It's too small of a boat. So my buddy has about a 38 Henrique. It's a beautiful boat. He's a charter boat captain. We troll spoons out there with downriggers and catch big eye tuna.
The Maja spoons, really?
The Maja spoon was the number one spoon.
Holy cow.
That's super cool.
Yes.
That is really cool.
And it's something I really haven't tried to break into the market and start publicly trying to say that we have a lot of people who fish with them. Over 6 of them have been caught, and big eyes aren't really, they're not like bass or bluefish where you constantly catch them. If you get one every 5 trips, that's a big thing, you know. But this year was actually one of the biggest years. They were catching 20 in a day, which was unheard of. But,
Holy cow. I can't imagine that.
Big fish, too, 150 to 200 pounds, big fish.
Now, and how do you troll them? Same way? Or, I mean, are you trolling real deep for them?
Same way. I mean, those fish will eat butterfish.
Okay.
Butterfish is basically like our small sizes to imitate a shad, a peanut bunker, a butterfish, anything in that realm. I mean, people call it bunker spoons just because of, that's where they derive from. We actually made 4 different spoons for 4 different types of fish. The small ones, which we use for tuna, would be the peanut bunker. Then they have the middle tier. The second one would be more like almost like a I guess it would be more of a herring.
Okay.
Because it's a thinner spoon. If you have the spoon in front of you, the number 2 and the number I do the number 3 are thinner spoons.
Right.
And actually no, the 2 would be, I'm sorry, a lollipop bunker. The 3 was the
longer one.
Spoon. That's the herring.
Right.
So but the number 1, we tuna fish with them, and I love the tuna fish. I mean, I've never got a big bluefin. I've gotten big every other type of tuna, but never got a big bluefin. But I'm hoping to knock that off my bucket list this year.
I just, I can see the way the action is on these things, the size, the match, and especially the build. I mean, they're pretty indestructible. So I can see where you get a big old tuna bite this thing, you're not going to lose it. The spoon's going to hold up for you.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they've got them up to 120 pounds.
No kidding.
We haven't had anything bigger than that yet. That's the biggest one on the spoons, but
keep trying, right?
Break that again this year. You never know.
Well, that's one of those things. The word's going to get out if you're catching something that most guys aren't, and it's working for you guys. There's no secrets in fishing, you know that, right?
No, you can't keep secrets in fishing because if you do, people hate you. So you might as well tell everybody your spots and everything because it's no matter what, there's always people that hate you no matter what you do.
That's true.
Yeah. Now, are you going to start selling these things like in the freshwater areas? I mean, this is something that I know that we start working these things in the areas.
Yeah, it's something I'm starting to move. I'm moving us into different areas. I mean, there's other saltwater places that catch striped bass. I think Texas that catch striped bass.
Yep.
Certain parts of the country they catch striped bass. The lakes. I mean, lake fishing and freshwater fishing is one of the biggest industries. I think it might even be bigger than saltwater fishing, other than boats itself, like just in gear and stuff and fishermen. There's so many, and I grew up. I mean, on Staten Island, I'm talking lakes for the size of probably pools. But we used to fish lakes. I loved lake fishing, love it. I've been trolling once on a lake. That's it. Like I've been on a big enough lake once where I trolled. It was Lake Erie, which was that was more like an ocean.
Yeah, sure they are. That's a big one.
It wasn't a small lake, I'll tell you that. We caught some salmon and stuff. I have guys up there that supposedly catch walleye on them on the number 1 spoons.
Oh, really?
Salmon.
That's kind of decent.
I have to get out there and I have to do it myself and video it. People have to see it. I could tell people till I'm blue in the face you can catch anything on it, but until I show them that you can.
Sure.
Well, I think come next spring, there's a 99.99999 chance that you're going to see Josh and I in one of these videos dragging these spoons behind our boat and pulling up a big old striper. I'm fairly confident in that. It fits.
I would love it if you break that record on it too. That would be nice.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, because it's everything that the bass want to eat that's they represent. So it's a good meal for them.
So tell me a little bit about these tails here. Would you typically add scent? Do you add scent to your tails when you fish?
No. And you know what? Well, like we have something called the Mojos. So I don't know if you're familiar. Did you ever see Mojos?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I fish them myself.
We sell our own brand of Mojos. Mojos predominantly are parachute jig.
Right.
We used to use them years ago. People think that they came out last year, 2 years ago. It's the first time they saw them around here, and they've been around for 40, 50 years.
Sure.
Down south in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, they've been around for a long time. It takes a while sometimes for us to get used to things. Right. But we came out with our own. We actually made them years ago. About 8 years ago, we started making them. We used to use them instead of a drill weight. We used to drag that below a spoon.
Oh, okay.
So that would be another way to catch a fish on the Mojo, or predominantly it would sink the spoon down another 10 feet, 15 feet.
Just with like a 3-way swivel up,
exactly,
5-10 feet or so.
Yeah, we would do the Mojo would be 5 feet down, off the the 5 feet leader on the 3-way, and the spoon would always be the trailer about 15 feet back.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I
Yeah,
can see that
it
even
works
working in the lake.
Sure, yeah.
Well, now we sell them as spoon mojo combos. Out here in the ocean, people love them.
Oh, I bet.
The guy caught the biggest fish that we had this year, so for 58.5 pounds, was on actually a spoon mojo combo. On the spoon, the trailer, a 58.6 pounder, I believe it was, on the number 1, on the smallest spoon.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that's our biggest for the year.
How about in the Chesapeake? I mean, I know the guys in the Chesapeake do a lot of bucktail and mojo fishing too, but I can imagine the bunker spoons are fantastic in the Chesapeake.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we have guys that fish out there too. Like I said, I have to get out there. I have to get out there and I have to get down there to do the shows, the fishing shows. My father did a bunch of them when we first started. It's gradually getting down to that area, down south or away from New Jersey, New York. We have people all the way down to South Carolina using people. Like I said, we have people in other states all the way out in Oklahoma using them. But to get them like where we have them here, and the grip we have on the market here,
right?
We just have to get out there and show people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I have to get out there physically and show. And you know what? I have no problem with doing that because I love to fish.
Yeah, I think we seen you at one of the shows. We were at the show in Harrisburg and at Suffern, New York, and I kind of vaguely remember seeing your booth there.
Yeah,
were you
my
at one of
father
them?
and I usually do. Yeah, my father.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought we should have stopped by. I don't know why we
should've.
didn't. We were working one of the booths ourselves.
We were pretty busy.
Yeah. But we'll have to keep
sure.
an eye out next year. We'll definitely be with you. Tell me,
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be doing shows. God knows how many shows I'm going to be doing this year, but it's going to be a lot of them.
yeah, it's really
It's gonna
good.
be a lot.
Now, Tony, do you sell these online, or are these strictly only available in the tackle dealers?
Tackle shops all over the place. If up by you, there's probably no tackle shops that carry them out in the Poconos.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get them online at TonyMajaProducts.com.
Okay.
You could order them. You could do, we sell the mojos, we sell the spoons, so what you guys are doing, the spoon rods and the outrodders, that's how we get. I don't know if I spoke about it, but we started the business through the outrodders.
Yeah, talk about that for a second, if you would.
Yeah, sure. The outrodders were basically for lake fishing. You guys have outrodders, I'm sure, as well, but you have downriggers. So with downriggers, it's a little different. When you're trolling with fish, with the line spread out behind the boat, you want to separate them as far as possible.
Sure.
You don't want to get a tangle, especially we use wire sort of stuff. So we use these things called outrodders. So the outrodders we keep one facing out towards the port and one to the starboard side. So what we would do is every time we would catch a fish, they were always fixed. They had a fixed, basically they faced out, and you had to reach out and pull the rod out. I can't really explain it that well, but it was very hard, especially if you have a fish.
Yeah.
So my father put a hinge on it. So instead of reaching out, it just snaps into the boat. You pick the rod up like
You
just like
lift
a
it
regular
up.
rod.
Yeah.
And he actually got the patent on it. It took us about 8 years to 9 years.
Nice.
So he got the patent on it, and that was our main thing. I mean, he got contacted from Shark Tank.
No kidding.
We were going to be on the Shark Tank, but
cool.
we decided not to do it. You didn't want to sell any part of the business. They make you sell whatever it is
Sure.
for the business. And we were just starting, so we were just starting to get going. And everybody used to come. We started selling those before we started selling bunker spoons. And people are like, oh, well, what would you fish with this? We're like, bunker spoons. Where can we get bunker spoons? We didn't know where to get them. Where can I get this right? I said, Dad, we keep sending these people to other areas. Why don't we just make them ourselves?
Sure.
That's fair.
I said, you have the technology. I mean, we've done it for years. Used to make them for people, just not charge them. And he's like, you know what? You're right. And we did it.
That's great. But that's a great idea. I mean, you get a big old striper on. Last thing you want to do is have to pull that rod out of outrigger,
Pushing it away
from you,
Yeah.
And have that
Right.
thing just take off on you. You're losing a rod.
With a 50-pound fish plus the boat moving at
Absolutely.
the same time, it's not easy.
Yeah.
That's a real
I
good
dropped
idea.
a few rods in the water too, by the way. So
We almost did that the other
pushed them
day.
a little
So.
bit quicker.
Yeah, that's a real good idea. But Tony, I really appreciate it. I mean, hopefully people watching this understand what they have here as far as a product, and really, you guys got to get some of these. But we got a little treat for you guys. Here on Anglers Outpost, we're going to give away the number 4 and the number 3 spoon to to one viewer on October 20th. So what I want you guys to do, as you're watching this video, I want you to leave a comment below, tell me I need a Maja, and share it with your friends. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, I want you to leave a comment as well, tell me I need a Maja, and I want you to subscribe to the channel, okay? And on October 19th, we're going to choose a winner, and on the 20th, we're going to publish that on Facebook. So we'll put a note up for that, but some lucky viewer is going to get 2 spoons. And these have a value. I guess the 2 of these, number 3 and 4, of what, like $70 or $75 for the pair of them, Tony?
Yeah, it's probably closer to $80.
Yeah, so
$78.
this is a real value. And, you know, if you guys are into striper fishing, we're trying to get this out to you while there's still plenty of season to get out and fish them. But, again, just drop me a note, say I need a Maja, and go ahead and share that video, and we'll pick somebody on the 19th, and we'll get these right out to you to enjoy this season. So, Tony, it was a real pleasure talking to you today. We know you're busy, and we really appreciate the time to sit down and talk with us. And I'm really hoping we get a chance to get out and do a little fishing together this year.
It's been my pleasure. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, we'll have you back.
And I promise we will get out by next year. We will get out fishing, whether it's here or I would love to do it up by you. Maybe we could do both.
We'll
one
do
day,
both. Absolutely. You're not going to break our arm doing that.
Certainly,
Absolutely.
yeah, right.
So
thank you very much, guys.
Oh, well, thank you, Tony. Well, that's going to wrap up the show for today, and we hope you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at POG Network, and on YouTube, that's Pocono Outdoors Guy. I'm George, and we'll see you next time. Josh, and we'll see him. Actually, you're heading to Texas, so we won't see you for a while.
For a little bit, yeah.
For a little bit, but
yeah.
you'll be back. So right now, you guys get out and go get them lines wet. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one.